Have you ever wondered how a brilliant idea scribbled in a lab notebook actually becomes, well, knowledge? Something we all trust? Let me tell you, it's not a straight line. It's more like a grueling, competitive, and totally essential process. So let's dive into this researcher's gauntlet and see how science really gets made.
This quote from way back in 1982 just nails it. A discovery, no matter how cool or groundbreaking it seems, is kinda just a hobby until it's been communicated, picked apart, and validated by other experts. You see, publication isn't the finish line, it's the starting block.
Okay, so if publication is where it all begins, what does that actually look like? Well, you gotta stop thinking of science as a bunch of lonely geniuses in labs. It's much more like one giant, ongoing, global conversation.
I mean, think about it. You could have the most elegant experiment, the most perfect data, but if it just sits on your hard drive, it's useless. It contributes absolutely nothing to human knowledge. For science to move forward, discoveries have to be shared. They have to join the conversation.
So how do we make sure that what enters this big conversation is actually, good? That's where this crucial step comes in, peer review. It's basically the quality control system for all of science. Before a paper sees the light of day, it gets sent to other experts who act like referees, checking the work for any flaws and figuring out if it's actually a valuable contribution.
And trust me, this process is anything but a walk in the park. This is what we're calling the Gauntlet. It's this intense trial by fire that every single serious piece of research has to survive.
So, just how tough is this gauntlet? Take a look at this number, 25%. For the top journals in psychology, that's the typical acceptance rate. Let that sink in. For every 4 meticulously crafted research papers that get submitted, 3 of them get rejected. The barrier to entry into the scientific conversation is incredibly high.
So here's how it all goes down. A researcher submits their paper. It gets sent out to a few anonymous peer reviewers who critique everything, the methods, the logic, even the writing. Then, based on all that feedback, a senior editor makes the final call. Publish it, ask for changes, or, what happens most of the time, reject it outright.
And they're not just checking your math. The reviewers are asking these really big questions. Was the study even designed properly? Does this paper actually add something new and important to our field? Is it written clearly enough for anyone to understand? A paper can get shut down on any one of these points. It's a full top-to-bottom inspection.
Okay, so to have any hope of surviving this intense process, researchers around the world follow a kind of universal blueprint, a standard structure that makes sure their work can be understood clearly by anyone, anywhere.
The logic of a scientific paper is actually just a simple story told in 4 parts. The introduction answers the question, why should I care about this? The method section says, here's exactly how we did it. The results section is all about, okay, so what did we find? And finally, the discussion tackles the big one. So what does it all mean? Now, within that blueprint, the methods section is the absolute foundation, and it has one golden rule: be completely transparent. The goal is to describe what you did with so much detail that another scientist on the other side of the world could repeat your experiment exactly. That idea, replicability, is the bedrock of scientific trust.
Then you get to the results, where the goal is to make a mountain of data instantly understandable. Researchers don't just dump a bunch of numbers on you. They pick the right way to tell the story visually. A line graph is perfect for showing a trend over time, right? But a bar graph is what you want for a direct head-to-head comparison. The right picture can make a finding pop right off the page.
But it's not just about the structure, it's also about the style. And this is where it gets really interesting, because the principles of good scientific writing are actually powerful tools for communication that are valuable far beyond the lab. It really comes down to these 3 pillars. Clarity, can your reader get it without a headache? Conciseness, did you use 100 words when 10 would do the trick? And precision, are you using the exact right term for what you mean? In science, the difference between saying belief and attitude could change everything.
And that commitment to precision goes beyond just technical jargon. It's also about how we talk about people. The American Psychological Association, for example, is crystal clear. Scientific writing has to be free of bias. The whole point is to describe reality accurately, not to pass judgment or reinforce stereotypes.
Here's a perfect example of what that looks like. It's a simple but really powerful shift called people-first language. So instead of defining people by their condition, like saying the amnesiacs, you put the person first, amnesic patients. It's such a small change in wording, but it has a huge impact on respect and accuracy.
At the end of the day, it's all about acknowledging people as individuals. Good science describes its participants with both accuracy and dignity.
And this is why this whole process should matter to you, even if you never set foot in a lab. These principles, clarity, conciseness, precision, fairness, they aren't just for stuffy journal articles. The same blueprint that gets research published can make your next business report, your project proposal, or even just a simple email way more effective and convincing.
So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Whether it's the simple clarity of that 4-part story or the precision of putting people first, what's one principle you can borrow from the researcher's gauntlet to make your own voice just a little bit more powerful?